Good morning, Tottenham fans. You know what? I'm feeling a comeback tonight. Don't know why I'm feeling this confident. I shouldn't really be feeling this confident, but I am feeling like we can make a comeback tonight in the Champions League versus Atletico Madrid. Now, I know we're 5-2 down, and I know it was a heavy defeat when we went to their ground, but there were circumstances as to why that happened. The pitch was absolutely awful, and our players were slipping about absolutely everywhere. It's not just us that had this problem. Remember, Barcelona went there and lost 4-0, and their goalkeeper was having problems as well with the ball going under his foot, etc. Kingsky had an absolute nightmare. I just think an early goal in this game tonight at home, the crowd will be up for this. I think the fans will be up for this. I think if we scored an early goal, I think the stadium would erupt. I think they'd get right behind the boys. The comeback's on tonight. It really is. If you think about when we played against Liverpool as well, at Anfield, by the way, the fight, the hunger, desire. I was checking the running stats as well. It's the most we've ran all season as well. So Igor is putting fight into these players. If we show some fight tonight, I think Atletico Madrid could crumble. They're not as good as they used to be. They're not as top class as they used to be, and they can be got at. They really can. There's multiple times where they concede 2+ goals. So getting an early goal and then getting another one before half time, all of a sudden you're only 1-0 down technically. So it's possible. We have to make sure we're tight at the back. We don't concede any goals. Conceding goals is going to make the task 10 times harder. Now, there was questions saying that people think that we shouldn't really concentrate on the Champions League. They don't care about the Champions League and we should concentrate on the Premier League. I agree with that to a certain extent. And the Premier League, 100% I agree with, is more important, obviously, for obvious reasons. We need to stay in the Premier League. But I do feel if we get a victory, if we go through against Atletico Madrid, against all the odds, at home in front of our fans, imagine what could change. First of all, we won at home in front of the fans, and we've got a massive game against Nottingham Forest at home next. That would bring so much more confidence. It would breed so much more hope from the fans. It would breed more belief in the players. We won at home, so now they'll be thinking we can do that versus Nottingham Forest. It will also put us in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. We'll be 16th place and in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. It would give us actually a little bit of excitement in the season so far, because this season, we have to admit, it's been very, very drab. Not much to look forward to, and there's been a lot of negativity around. Now, imagine we beat Atletico Madrid. We go through by some miracle. We go through. And then we beat Nottingham Forest on Sunday. All of a sudden, we're 4 points clear of relegation. We're in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. And everything just seems a lot more rosier. Then we've got 3-week international break. Players will be returning. And all of a sudden, we've got a stronger squad. And we're going into a relegation fight and playing more Champions League football. It's possible. It really is that we can turn around this whole season just on these 2 games. This whole season could really turn on its head. And we could start looking forward to games this season. It would be absolutely amazing. Now, obviously, if it goes the other way and we lose to Atletico Madrid and lose to Nottingham Forest, it can flip 180 and absolutely be a terrible, terrible week. It could be. It's not said and done that we're going to do these things. Remember, with Nottingham Forest, we've got a game on Thursday. We've got a day's extra rest. We have players coming back. We've got Bergvall back tonight. Paulinho's still out, but I think he'll be back for Forest. Gallagher's still out, but I think he'll be back for Forest. Romero, Van der Ven are back as well. Solanke's got a slight issue. I think he's being assessed today, but he should be available for Forest. Richarlison's suspended tonight, but he'll be available for Forest. Souza is suspended tonight. He'll be available for Forest. So we've got the players now. Odysseus came in and looked okay when he came in. So, another player that could be reliable. You've got Bergvall and Gray in the midfield now with Sarr, who I thought was excellent against Liverpool. So hopefully now things are starting to turn around, and I just sense there's going to be a comeback tonight. You have to let me know in the comments if you are feeling the same as me, because there's a feeling amongst some of the fans I've been speaking to that we can get something from this. Some fans are telling me they don't want to get anything from this. They don't want any more extra games. They just want to concentrate on Premier League. But if with the players coming back, why can't we go for both? You know, I was watching Arsenal yesterday, unfortunately, and they're playing the same team, like same 11 near enough every single game, like Wednesday, Sunday, Tuesday, Saturday, Wednesday, Sunday, or whatever game days they're playing. They keep playing the same players. I ain't seen a game without Rice playing. So if they can do it, I don't know what happens to our team, but we're made of glass or something. So we need to try and sort that out, because that's absolutely crazy. But yeah, I just think if this week is like a monumental week, it's a massive, massive week. If we can get past this week on a high, have the 3 weeks with it will be Tudor, because if he beats Atletico and goes through and beats Nottingham Forest, there'll be zero reason to sack him. He'll be with the players and the players coming back for 3 weeks to build on mentality, build on confidence, build on his tactics that he wants to use. Energy, fitness. You know, he said the team wasn't as fit as he needed them to be. They looked a lot fitter against Liverpool, I'll tell you that. So 3 weeks is like a mini pre-season, isn't it? So if you can get these players going in those 3 weeks, come back, beat Sunderland as well, all of a sudden we can start looking forward to Champions League games. Now, I know, like, I'm not being deluded. I know we're not going to go on and win the Champions League. We've probably got a 1% chance. But when you're playing knockout competition and you get a lot of luck, like, do you remember, obviously you all remember in 2019 when we played against Man City and they scored in the last minute and VAR took it off? That's a lot of luck right there. And we got through. We made our own luck by scoring goals ourselves, especially away goals, because that's what we went through on. And then against Ajax, you know, a long hopeful ball and a flick on by Dele, and all of a sudden Mora's putting us through to the final. It's like last minute. There's when you're in these competitions, you need a lot of luck, and we got a lot of luck in that Champions League that year. Even in the early rounds when Lucas Moura scored an equaliser against Barcelona to get us through the group stage. Otherwise, we wouldn't have got through in the first place. So there's a lot of ifs and buts at the moment, but I'm feeling like this could be a turning point. I don't really want to say it and jinx it at the moment, but a big win against Atletico Madrid, and it has to be a big win if you want to go through, and beating Nottingham Forest, I think it turns this season on its head, and all of a sudden fans are optimistic, fans are looking forward to games, fans are looking forward to Champions League fixtures, because anything can happen in the Champions League. You know, we went toe-to-toe with PSG earlier this season. You know, if it weren't for a couple of mistakes at the back, we probably could have got something out of it. And we've just seen them batter Chelsea 8-2 on aggregate. So we must have done all right. So, you know, anything can happen. I'm not saying we're going to win it. I'm not even going to say we're going to get close. But, you know, never know. But it's always better to be looking forward to Champions Leagues rather than saying, well, I really don't want to go through on the Champions League because we've got to concentrate on Premier League. Get a few wins in the Premier League, then that goes away. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think there's going to be a comeback tonight? Do you feel the same as me? Do you think that Spurs can finally turn the season around? Come on, you Spurs.